It was like, oh, this is my life. Like, this is, yeah. I identify with each and every character. I saw Jason in me. I saw Lyric in me. Like, yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And I saw who I could have been.
Right. Yeah.
In Josh.
Yeah. So we have Jason's Lyric directed by Doug McHenry, written by Bobby Smith Jr. It was produced by Gramercy Pictures. Starring Allen Payne as Jason Alexander, Jada Pinkett as Lyric, Bokeem Woodbine as Joshua Alexander, Anthony Chris as Alonzo, that's Tretch, for anybody that doesn't know, Eddie Griffith as Rat, Forest Whitaker as Mad Dog Alexander, Lisa Carson as Marty, Alonzo's girlfriend. The budget was $7 million, and it made $20 million at the box office, which is not bad for pretty much all black movie in the 90s.
Facts. Facts.
About the 90s.
Right.
Before it was popular for everybody to go see a black film. You know, it made a profit, you know, so I can see why a lot of these actors and actresses in this movie became even bigger, because they turn in a profit. You turn a profit in Hollywood, they give you more chances.
Right. Facts.
they just give you more chances.
Facts.
So it's good that there's not one person in this movie that didn't become a mega star, didn't become some type of star. Like, everybody became a star.
Yeah. In most movies, you'll see a few people who didn't, but you are absolutely right.
Every single person that had lines in this movie became somebody.
Yes, they
really
did.
Big, you know. So we get to the opening scene. Jason is on a bus having memories, I would say nightmares, about the night where Mad Dog got shot.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of hide who shot him.
Right.
But you can tell that it was personal, and somebody in that house shot Mad Dog, but they really don't tell you. So it's kind of a bad memory, and it keeps coming up in the movie. And, you know, we'll get to that, why it keeps coming up. Then it transitions into like Joshua and Jason as little kids playing with Mad Dog in like in a field. It looks like a field, flowers and stuff. And there's an airplane that's sprinkling water on the flowers on the field and stuff like that. And it's a beautiful scene. It's actually a great scene.
It's so beautiful. Yeah. And it's actually kind of dynamic to me, because remember, he says that the old man, I think his name was Old Man Johnson, who used to let the plane go over, and they felt like when the water would drop, it was like rain.
Yeah, and they called him the Rainmaker.
Yes, the Rainmaker. And then where they are in this field with also beautiful flowers, it's just like their only moment for paradise.
Yes. Not only it was beautifully shot,
yes,
that whole scene is beautiful, but the fact that they showed that they did have good times with Mad Dog. He was not always a drunk, and, you know, he wasn't always all bad. And I think sometimes we have to bring that into reality with some of the people we see now that might be cracked out or whatever and stuff. They weren't always like that. So we always have to give them a little bit of grace.
Right.
Because there's a human in there.
Yes.
There's a human in there. So we got to always remember that, you know, there's a lot of mad dogs running around in society, and they weren't always like that.
No, not at all.
It only takes like one thing to turn somebody into a mad dog.
Exactly. Absolutely. And it's the dynamic of how we didn't deal with mental health back then.
That's right.
So if you couldn't get past it, like if you didn't have that God foundation to take that turn, what do? You self-medicate.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
There we go. And Josh, although he hated Mad Dog, it seemed like he just went right into it.
He went, yeah.
But how do you deal with that kind of trauma? You know?
I know.
Thank God for mental health now.
I know. Yeah. So Mad Dog shows up at the house to visit the family. And Josh he ain't really messing with him.
Nah.
Jason, but you can tell Jason loves his father.
Yes.
I mean, loves his father. But also Jason understands why Josh is kind of like standoffish of him too. And it was a scene where, in this particular scene, where Josh goes inside and he's behind the screen, and it's such an evil look, like he really hates Mad Dog. Yeah, he looking like him like, I really hate you.
I was
just like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was I don't know how they made that little kid look so intense, but he did an excellent job.
He did.
Because he really looked like there's an issue right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I know you my father, but I'm not feeling you at all coming around this house. And a lot of it could have had to do with he saw his mother go through a lot of trauma. So he just like, anytime you come around, my mom's is crying after you leave.
Right. And he wasn't old enough to see the good side of him that Jason was able to capture.
He was still a little baby when they were in the fields and stuff. So he might not have remembered all those good times when Mad Dog was actually a regular guy. During this first visit, when Mad Dog shows up, he beats a guy with a cane right in front of him, right? If Jason wouldn't have told him to stop, he would have just kept beating the dude.
Right. Facts. He tripped him. And I love Forest Whitaker because of Fruitvale Station.
I love Forest Whitaker.
And so it was a blessing to meet him and stuff like that. But when he was always one of my favorites. I was like, always, this dude is a bomb. How he hooked his ankle with the cane. That's thought. Sorry. That's like talent above talent. He hooked that ankle and because he was really on that leg. Like you could tell he fully embraced that character to the point where even he knew to grab his ankle with that cane to bring him down to hit him with it.
Nah, he played that character to the fullest. Mad Dog to the fullest. We're gonna get to some other scenes of Mad Dog, but he played that character to the fullest. And once again, like I said, that right after that, that's actually the scene where they show Josh looking through the door, which kind of lets you know, like, Josh might have some of Mad Dog in him. I mean, that is his father. We didn't find out till later how serious he got with Josh.
Right.
And, what he became as an adult. Maybe that's kind of why their mother really wasn't trying to get back with Mad Dog because she saw that might have eventually rubbed off on the boys. Like, because she might have really loved Mad Dog. Clearly, she had two of his kids.
Yeah.
But maybe it was one of those things where it's like, I want to let you back in the house, but you bring so much trauma into the house, it might transfer into one of these kids.
Fact.
Which essentially it kind of did. Real talk. Joshua kind of adopted some of that stuff. He literally became what he hated.
And I think that where we come from, it actually happens a lot. Oh, yes. So it's like the son is, I hate my daddy. He wasn't there. He wasn't this. Or he treated my mom like this. And literally I watched person after person. It was that nice occasion where I see somebody like, I'm not going to be that. But literally they would turn into what they hate. And I wonder if that's because of the heavy judgment that is there. It's like, you need to know what it feels like to bring you to a place where either some people get destroyed, right? We saw that with Josh, but then you see some people who actually, pivot because of that experience.
Yeah,
and
they
like,
turn
I'm not going to be like that.
Yeah.
And they forgive that person and they understand where they're coming from. And then they work on not ever being like that. But I think that if you hold that resentment in your heart, no matter what happens, you're going to turn into it.
That's true. I agree. So we get to another scene where Mad Dog is sitting in a super filthy motel room. And he's talking to himself and he's drinking. He's having a Mad Dog moment.
Yes.
But what I got out of that moment is he misses his family.